Sorry, we're just waiting for the jug to boil in the background. So welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to be making some beautiful shredded taco chicken burgers. So, you know, you see pulled pork burgers and beef burgers and chicken burgers, but you have to slow cook those things. And, you know, quite often you get home from work and you really don't have the time to be able to do it, to be able to be doing the slow cooking. So I wanted to put something together that was a really easy, fun, sort of like a bit of a Friday, Saturday night dinner or midweek, you know, quick and easy. So tonight we need to make sure that you've got your food processor as well as your metal bowl ready to go. So we'll wait for a little while, a little minute just to get everybody on. What I will ask you to do, just because this is a process that will just speed up the cooking with the chicken, is if you can, boil your jug, and we can put boiling water in when we steam the chicken. So it just makes it a bit quicker. You can use tap water if you like, that's fine. But yeah, just make sure that, you know, it might just take a little bit longer to cook. So if you want to make it a little bit quicker, especially on a weeknight, then that's a really good idea just to boil the jug. It only takes a few minutes to do that. So we'll just wait. I'd love to hear where you're all watching from. So let us know. It's really exciting when we get people from all around the world. So, you know, it's great. I think last time we had someone from Italy, which was fantastic. So, you know, let us know where you're from and you know, what you're doing. Also, too, we'd love to know if you're cooking along live with us tonight as well. So it's always good for us to know. We like to do our videos, and I know that some of you, obviously time-wise, need to watch them later, which is great. And you know, it gives you the option to go back and watch them. We'll also always pop up the ingredients and the method after as well. So you've always got all of that on there. So I think we've probably given you all a couple of minutes to get on. The other thing we'd love to know, and I would love to know, is what is your favourite thing to cook in your Cook Expert? So we'd love to know and love to hear that from you. So let us know. So, you know, we always are trying to develop new recipes and things as well. And I'm going to show you something just a little bit later when the chicken is cooking to be able to, with our app. So it's pretty exciting. I'm excited. So I think we might get started. So if you just jumped on, I've just asked that maybe you boil the jug so that we can use boiling water when we're steaming, just to quicken up that process of steaming our chicken as well. So let's get started, shall we? So we're actually going to start by doing our mayonnaise first. I think we'll do the mayonnaise first, actually. So you've all got your food processor ready, and we're going to take out our mini bowl, and we're going to use our mini bowl for our mayonnaise. Now I have made mayonnaise on here before for you, so this time you'll actually get to do it yourself, which is really exciting. So you need to make sure that you've got your Dijon Mustard, your vinegar, so I've got those just in together. We also need the egg yolk. We also need our oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. Now I tend to use white pepper so that it doesn't put black spots through your mayonnaise. It's completely up to you what you do and what you use. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all of our ingredients except the oil. Okay. Now if you didn't have sunflower oil, you can use some vegetable oil, or you could use even olive oil. The thing I do suggest, is don't use a strong flavoured olive oil because it will make your mayonnaise taste awful. So you need to make sure that you're using a light olive oil or that you're using a sunflower oil, a vegetable oil, just something like that. Okay, so we've got those things in there. Put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Now, if you wanted to, and the reason that I've bit of pepper. We all like pepper. Okay, so I've also got some Sriracha sauce. Now, if you wanted to, you can add it to your mayonnaise, but I know that, you know, some people don't like hot and some people do. So, you know, if everyone in the house is happy to have that mayo with a little bit of kick in it, then by all means add your Sriracha sauce. However, otherwise just put it on the burger separately. So it gives you an option of being able to do it that way as well. So we're going to pop that on, and we're going to get started. So, it would help if I turned my machine on, apparently. Okay, so the food processor is ready to go, and we're just going to pop that on auto. So I'm going to take out the pusher, and I'm going to get ready with my oil. So you just need to slowly drizzle the oil in while it's processing to turn it into our mayonnaise. Are we ready? Done. Why would you buy mayonnaise from a store when you can make mayonnaise so very, very quickly? So I'm going to get you to have a look. So come on in and have a look at how amazing. So we've been on for 5 minutes. I gave you all a few minutes to get on. Within 3 minutes of cooking, we've made a beautiful mayonnaise. So as I said, if you want to add the sauce, you can add the sauce now and mix it through as well. But if you want to keep it separate, you can keep it separate. Whatever mayonnaise you don't use, you can actually pop into the fridge and it will last for a good couple of weeks as well. So make sure that you're storing it correctly. So what we're going to move on to is we're going to chop our cabbage and our carrot. So I've got red and green cabbage, and I've also got our carrots ready to go. And we're going to pop those in. I've got something really exciting to show you in a minute too, so it's just in here. Hopefully you can't see what it is. Exciting. Okay, so I'm going to pop in, so you've got your blades, and we're going to pop in our 2mm slicing blade. So be very careful, they are very sharp. I'm sure some of you have already worked that out. So if you have a look at the blade, if you want to come in and have a little look, you can actually see on there that it says, hopefully you can see, I've got it on the right angle, it says, it's got the number 2 there, so that's the one that we know is the 2mm blade. So that's the one that we want to pop on. So we're going to pop that on and into our machine, ready to slice. Okay, so the great thing is I haven't had to wash anything up. So yes, there's a little bit of mayonnaise on the top of the machine, but it's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. And it just means that I can keep going with the process. If I wanted to, I could also use the midi bowl, but because I'm doing quite a bit, I'm going to use the larger bowl. I'm actually also then going to leave it in there and put all the ingredients together, so I'm not going to separate anything because I want it mixed together anyway. So I'll just put that over here and we'll get ready. Now, you all, I'm sure, know when you use your food processor, if you're using the large feeding tube, which is this one here, which we will need to do for our cabbage, you need to make sure that the cabbage is lower than our max line here, okay? Because if it's not, and this isn't pushed to the max, the machine actually won't start. So it's a really good safety function that we've got on there. So let me see if I've sliced them small enough. I'll push it in there. I'll work it out. Okay. So, yep, perfect. And we're just going to then slice up our cabbage. Okay, so I'll just do that. So hopefully you're all sticking on with me. Again, if you have just jumped on, we've just made our mayonnaise. We're doing our coleslaw now. And I did mention to boil your jug so that we can speed up the process of cooking the chicken as well. I just love how quick it is to be able to do things like this. So now, we don't want to be slicing our carrots because it's not going to make a very good coleslaw. So we're going to change our blade. Oh my goodness, this bowl is really full, look at that. But that's okay. We're going to push ahead. I might actually need to get a bowl. Okay, and I'm going to grab our grating blade. So I'm just going to go with the 2mm grating blade as well. I might actually need to empty the bowl. I didn't expect that. Isn't it amazing how those little pieces of cabbage ended up to be so much food. So I'm just going to grab a bowl because I think I've gotten a bit excited in there. I'm going to empty some of that. So if you need to, just empty some of your cabbage into another bowl. Wow. You know what? Imagine if I had used half a cabbage of each colour. It would have just been crazy. So you can see that you don't need a lot to make an amazing amount of coleslaw. So what we're going to do is we're now popping on our grating blade so that we can add carrot to this as well. So with the carrot, obviously we don't need to worry about using the larger feeding tube. So we are going to just use the pusher. Please make sure that you always use the pusher, that you don't push things down with your hand because it can be really nasty. So our blades are super, super sharp. They're actually surgical grade blades, which means that they will slice you open. So you need to be really, really careful. Okay, so we'll chop. And voila. We have, don't worry about my mess. That's half the fun of cooking, isn't it? All the mess that we make. Okay, so I've now got my beautiful coleslaw ready to go. So what I'm going to do and get you to do is we'll just pop all this aside for a minute. I kind of need someone behind me cleaning up around me, I think. Okay, so I'm going to take off now our Food Pro, and I'm just going to pop that over here. And I'm going to get rid of this. Just give me a minute. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you now to take off your Food Pro, take off our base to the Food Pro as well, and then we're going to pop on our stainless steel bowl. So we're going to steam our chicken. Now with the chicken, I'm going to get you to have a look, and we're going to just set it for 5 minutes and then get you to have a look. So depending on the size of the chicken, so I did suggest that you buy chicken tenderloins. If you bought breast, I'd cube it up. I wouldn't put whole breast in there because it'll take too long to cook. But I would suggest that, we're going to check it after 5 minutes. So we're just going to set that. Just 1 second. Cleaning up if I go. I love to cook, but I hate cleaning. Please tell me, is anyone else the same? Would anyone else like to eat all the food I make and then clean for me? I'd be happy with that. More than happy with that. Okay, so here we go. We've got our steaming basket, so make sure you've got your steaming basket. We're not going to need our extra layer. And then your water. So we're going to pop in there about 750 mils of water, it works out to be. So you don't want to go over the top of the blade, okay? Because if you go over the top of the blade, then you're going to end up with the actual steamer touching the water, which we don't want. When we do things like meatballs, I do let the liquid touch the base because I want it to splash through and cover the meatballs. So it's around the 500 ml mark that we've got our water into. And then we're going to pop in our steaming basket. Now, if you want to, you can actually pop some baking paper down there and pop some holes in it. Or you can actually just, if you want to, do a little bit of spray in the bowl as well. Just to stop it sticking, so you don't need to worry about that. But I have to show you something. Right, I learnt this today. Now, some of you might have seen this, and I'd love to know if I've just, you know those things they put on Facebook that they say, how old were you when you worked out something? Today, I'm like going, oh my gosh. So, I have to show you. When you use tenderloins, you always have that white gristly bit that we don't want, and it's annoying to cut out, and we don't want to sort of waste the chicken. So I saw this amazing hack I'll have to show you, and I hope it works. I love live television. Okay, or live Facebooking. So I saved one in here somewhere. It's still here. So let me just put our chicken in there, and I'll find the one that I saved. Where is it? It's here somewhere. I've hidden it really. Oh, there it is. Okay. So pop all of your chicken. So this is 500 grams of chicken, and 500 grams of chicken fits absolutely perfect. So I'll show you that in just a second. But check this out. Are you ready? Honestly, tell me if you've seen this before and I've been living in a cupboard because I was really excited. So this is the bit, if you want to come in a little bit closer, this is the bit that I'm talking about. So it's the bit that then, is it gristle or whatever they call it, that runs down inside the chicken. I always like to remove it, and I usually use a knife. It wastes a bit of chicken, but check this out. So if you pop a fork, it's a bit slippery too. Now you need to also get a piece of paper towel, because you're going to have to hold. This is really fun. Okay, stop. Okay, so you need to hold the piece. It's a slippery little sucker. Okay, so you need to hold that white bit with a paper towel. And the reason is because it gets really, really slippery. Okay, are you ready? I hope this works. Then you just push your fork. Look at this. You should see the look on the face of my camera person right now. Look, completely, I'm like going, mic drop. Check that out. Please tell me, am I the only one that doesn't know that hack? Because I am like so excited about that. It's the little things. See? Thank you to my sister for that tip too. She's the one that YouTubed and Googled it for me because we were trying to work out how to do it. Okay, so we've got our, sorry, I just had to show you that. Please tell me you're excited. I want to see lots of excited comments there, please. Okay, so I'm just going to pop. So remember that I put boiling water in there from the jug just to speed up the process. And I'm just going to run the expert mode. You could use the simmer mode or the steam mode, but I use expert for most things because that's just what I do. So I've set it for 5 minutes. I don't need any speed. And I'm going to put it on 120 degrees. Now, can I just say, my family are like, can you just hurry up and do this recipe because we are so crazy to want to be eating it. So they're so impatient, let me tell you. Okay, so let's go. So 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes I want to check it. So let's get that going. So while that's going, what you can do, and this is great because this will all be done in probably 30 minutes. So we've shredded our carrot, our cabbage, we've made a mayonnaise, we're now steaming chicken, and seriously you're going to be eating within that sort of 30-minute mark. Okay, so you can see I've got all of my beautiful cabbage. Now, this is what you need to do. You've got to have people in the house that don't like mayonnaise. And then you're going to have people in the house that don't like cabbage. So what I do is I actually don't mix the mayonnaise through the coleslaw. And that is because I do have ones that don't like hot sauce and don't like mayonnaise. And it's just easier to do it this way. So I'm just going to mix that together. I'm going to be eating this coleslaw for a week. So we've got that all nicely mixed through. Ready for our burgers. I've said serves 4, and I think that the chicken will be for 4, but the coleslaw will be for 44, maybe. Okay, you'll all be eating coleslaw for lunch tomorrow. Okay, so we've got all of that in there and ready to go. So I'm going to pop that aside. We'll do a quick clean up. Now, if you wanted to take this to a whole nother level, you could make your own buns, which I did. No, I didn't really. I'm making that up. But I would normally make my own buns. However, being the show tonight, obviously we didn't have time to do that. So I bought some brioche buns, but you could actually also do it with wraps. You could do it with as nachos because we're shredding the chicken. You could do it in so many ways. Pita bread pockets. But I'm going to be doing it with the brioche bun tonight. So we'll pop that there ready to go. And while we're waiting, I want to show you something really exciting. Okay, so Magimix have brought out a brand new cookbook. I know, get excited, please do. Now, it is called the Food Processor Cookbook, and it's all about baking. So you need to come in here and you need to have a look at this beautiful, look at the cover, it is absolutely sensational. So I'm going to show you, while you're here, a couple of the recipes. So the ones I've already tried is the very first one. I'm going to do every single recipe from start to finish. So the very first one I did was the cheese crackers, so Parmesan cheese, they were amazing. These are, because they've got the cheese in them, you need to eat them on the day that you cook them. So I did try storing them, they didn't store, they're a real eat on the day. I then did the amazing breadsticks, and let me tell you, they did not last. My children just ate them, they just went crazy. The great thing with something like the breadsticks is you could actually do anything. You could add rosemary, I think these ones had oregano in them, but you could add anything that you wanted. But there's some beautiful recipes in there, so your pizza doughs, your pita breads. It is an absolutely amazing book. But what I've been doing is I've actually been going through the book and also using the recipes in the Cook Expert. So instead of just doing them in the food processor, I did the breadsticks and the crackers in the Cook Expert. The reason I did that I really wanted to do the breadsticks in here is because I wanted to prove the dough. So one of the things that we love, and hopefully you all know this, is that you can actually prove your dough in our machine. So if you set your machine to 1 hour, 33 degrees, no speed, it'll do it for you. So it's a really good tip, especially in winter, when it's harder to find that sort of hot spot to leave or warm spot to be able to leave your dough to prove. And you've already used it, you may as well not have to then go and dirty another bowl to prove your bread. So it's a really great idea. So our cookbook is called Food Processor, and it is Best Bakery. And it's, like I said, it's got 70 amazing recipes in there that you can actually go through and try, but I would be getting this one, it's really, really good. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to let you know is, as you probably, hopefully all know, we have an app, Magimix App, with all of our recipes. So all of the recipes from our cookbook, the 300 of them, are all on that site. Obviously these recipes aren't on the site because these are just separate cookbooks. But what we've started doing is when I do, or Rose does our cooking on a Thursday, what we've done now is we're actually adding those recipes to the Magimix app. So when you go onto the app, you'll see an I instead of an M. So the M recipes are the Magimix recipes. And then you'll also see, you know, whose recipe it was. But the great thing with that is that they're always on there and they're tried and tested recipes, okay? So, you know, we're really excited that finally we've been able to do that so that we can share. Because we get a lot of people requesting. Now, I'm just going to stop for a second and I'm just going to check that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am actually just going to give them a little flip. Okay, so you can see now, if you want to come and have a look, you can see now that that bottom is cooking through beautifully. The thing with chicken as well, and the reason I've got you just to do 5 minutes to start, is that you don't want to overcook chicken, okay, because it gets tough and it's not great and we don't want that to happen. So we'll now pop that on for the next 5 minutes, like exactly the same. So up to 5, oh, it seems that's a bit quick, doesn't it? Okay, so 5 minutes and we're going to get that, and that should be cooked through once we've done that last 5 minutes. So I'm talking about the app, tried and tested recipes, then I was saying something else now, I can't remember. But yeah, so really great to be able to, oh, that's what I was going to say. So when we do the TBSN shows, so Rose and I will do, you know, a recipe list and we demonstrate all of those products, and they are, you know, all actual things that we do cook. And so we're also now adding ones that we aren't using from the cookbook but that we've put together ourselves. We're also going to be start adding those to the app as well. So one of the things that I know when I first started with Magimix is that I, you know, wanted more recipes and I wanted to make sure that people had more recipes, and that's why we started doing the Cookalongs, so that it gives you sort of more inspiration, and it also gives you, you know, that knowledge and the want to use your machines as well. So, you know, I'd love to hear from you all if you found that these are really working for you watching the live, so that you can actually start, you know, using your machines and getting more confidence with your machines as well. So, you know, we get some great comments on there about, you know, people building that confidence, and we'd love for you to be able to do that and let us know as well. The other thing I did mention, and I should have mentioned it when I had the Food Pro out, but if you wanted to add sliced red onion to this, by all means, you absolutely can. I'm just not a fan of raw onion, so that's just me. So, while we're waiting for the last few minutes of that, we're going to start putting our burgers together. Okay, so If you want to butter them, you absolutely can. These are like cheeseburger buns. I'm laughing because my camera person, who happens to be my oldest daughter, is like drooling because she's like, oh my gosh, Mum, I just have to eat this. So probably should make hers first. So let's start with some mayonnaise. I'm going to put extra Sriracha Sauce on hers, don't tell her. Oh, she's right there. Okay, so we're going to pop on some mayonnaise. So as I said, you know, it's a great way to build the burger because if you've got the non-mayonnaise lovers and you've got the non-hot sauce lovers and you've got, you know, my younger one would not eat coleslaw, never, it would never happen. So she won't be having that on hers. If you wanted to add cheese, lettuce, anything, you can do whatever you like. It's a burger, you can build it yourself. But we're just going to make this nice and simple. So we've got our mayonnaise and we've got our coleslaw. This is so much quicker than a 4-hour slow cook to do pulled pork or pulled chicken burgers. So this is just going to be perfect. Oh, it's looking good. Okay. Our sriracha. Do I pack it on? Just don't tell her. Although she's watching. She's giving me really funny faces. Okay, so we're going to pop on. I don't know how hot this sauce is actually. Some people really like it. Some people really don't. But oh yes. Is that enough? They're all behind me going, that's enough, you need to stop. Okay, if only you could see what's going on the other side of this camera right now. They're so funny. Okay, they're being really mean to me now, but it's fun. Okay, so our chicken now has 1.5 minutes. We're nearly there, so I'm super excited. So don't forget to check out, I think our book is available online, I'm pretty sure. It's also in some of our stores. I think the Kitchen Warehouse has them in store. So if you've got a kitchen warehouse in your state, then you'll be able to grab that. But it is called The Food Processor Best Bakery. So have a look at it. Check it out if you can find it in store or online. But like I said, I'm going to do every one of the 70 recipes. I've done the first 2 and I can't wait to get on to the next one. So I'll let you know how they go. We've got 55 seconds, so I'm going to tease you with some more of our recipes. So it's got things in here like pastry custard. It's got cream mousse. It's got almond cream. It has got some of the most amazing recipes in there. Shortbread biscuits. It's got baked donuts, so you can do your own donuts. But it also has your own, is it Lebanese bread? Like, not Lebanese bread, your wraps. Tortillas, that's the word I'm looking for. In there as well, which I'm really looking forward to trying. And I actually think that could be a really good recipe that we do cooking for you as well. So I've been kind of looking at that one going yum. Okay, so we've got 12 seconds and I reckon my chicken is going to be perfect. So if you find that the chicken needs a little bit longer because it's thicker, you've used, you know, diced breast fillets, whatever, then you need to obviously cook it for a little bit longer. But I'm going to take that out. Look at that. And I'm just going to check that chicken is perfect. Okay, oh yeah, absolutely. So come in and have a look. So this was 10 minutes, and I really don't think that it would have needed 1 second longer. So you can see in there, it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to take out your bowl. So it's got a handle. Still does get a little hot, so you need a tea towel. Please don't burn yourself. We're going to pop that out like so. And I'm just going to pop that on the bench. And then I'm going to get you to empty the water out of your bowl. Don't be too worried about cleaning it because it's just the chicken that's in there anyway. So we're just going to give it a empty and a quick dry. So I'll be 1 second. Okay. So I'm just going to give that a really quick dry. Don't be too worried about it. But we just wanted that bowl to be dry. And we're going to pop it back on. We're going to pop in our chicken. So we're just going to throw it in like that. Easy peasy. Then I'm going to add some taco seasoning. Now if you didn't want to do taco, you could do any seasoning. So if you want to do like a Moroccan spice burger. There's so many ideas, and I'm sure I'd love actually you all to give us some ideas so that everyone can see. But I'm just going to sprinkle in there about half a packet of taco seasoning. So it's 500 grams of chicken and about half a packet of seasoning. So I'll put that back on. Now I'm going to stay on our expert mode, and I'm just going to start the machine. So I'll just add a couple of minutes, but it's only because we need time. It's not going to take a couple of minutes, but just so that we've got the time on there. We don't need any heat, so we can get rid of the heat. So we'll go back down on the heat, back to 0. And then I'm just going to go across to my speed, and I'm going to hit start. Oh, hang on. It would help if I actually put speed on there. So I'm going to the speed, and I'm going to add it and just pop it onto 3. When I start this, it's going to obviously start shredding. It's not going to be fast enough, so I'm just going to watch it. This is what I love about the glass. And I'm just going to watch, and I'm just going to up the speed a little bit as I go. Hopefully you can still hear me. So I'm now on 9, and that's probably enough. And that's been about 25 seconds. So it doesn't take long at all. I'm going to take that off. Oh, this is just amazing. Who needs pulled chicken burgers? I want you to come in here and have a look at that. So we've just shredded our beautiful fresh chicken tenders. It looks and smells amazing. My camera person is about to lose it. She is just like, let me at it. So now I'm just going to add that onto our burger. That. They're all clapping in the background. Look at that. And there we have a taco seasoned shredded chicken burger. How exciting. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing? So I hope that you all cooked along. Let us know, we'd love to know. And we always have an opportunity for you to win one of our fabulous cookbooks, or maybe down the track we might find something else that you could win, but you'll have to wait for that. I am going to ask you, what did I release to you tonight? What did I show you that you all need to get your hands on that is an amazing something? Thank you. But enjoy your burgers. Let me know if you've done other things with it, added other things, avocado, cheese. You need to stop rubbing your bellies behind me. But well done on joining us again and enjoying your machines. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.